Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here, we are going to be doing a tier list, a long-awaited tier list. So many people have wanted to see this tier list. We're going to be tier listing the two newest units in the game. We've got Fusing Super Vegito and Fusing Gogeta Blue. These units are absolute monsters, and of course, you're curious to see where I want to place them on the top 10. This is a very long-awaited video because I actually waited 2 days just to see how PvP would phase out. But of course, it's just my opinion. Leave your opinion down below in the comment section. But you're not here for all this yapping. You want to see what's the order. Let's get into this, man. But of course, respect, we have to shout out the boy Dingy, DNGEE, because he's the guy that makes the tier list that we're going to be using in this video. As you can see, the link is here, so if you want to make your own tier list, you go ahead and follow him on Twitter and press the link in his bio. I will not be giving you the link, but I'll be giving you the link to his Twitter account, so go ahead and follow the boy. He deserves it, man. Let's get into this now. So we've got the tier list here, 1 all the way to 10. We've got all the units here, but you know all of them are not going to be relevant. I'll be dragging up units going from 1 and doing it in sections, but we're going to start with 1 and 2 because 1 and 2 are the ones that you really care about, and you already know what units are 1 and 2. We've got our goats here. Whichever side you're on, you can see they parallel each other. Here they're working together, here they're going outwards, but they're still working together. They're beautiful. Fusing Vegito and Fusing Gogeta. Let me even bring that close for you so you can see how HD it is. These units here are amazing. They do a lot. They transform and heal all the way to 100%. Blast armor all around their kit. They're able to tag switch a lot, get key and health, healing. You know, it's all that good jazz. Now, these guys here, a lot of people have their own opinions. Some people are being biased. Some people, they're saying they're just equal. You know, they can either be number one, whichever one you want to say. It completely works either way. But you want to know what I have to think about these two guys. So yesterday, so 2 days ago from when this video is being uploaded, I went ahead and read their kits whole. And I analyzed every single speck of DNA within their kits. And honestly, in a 1v1 basis, if I had to put my life on the line, who am I bringing to the battlefield in a 1v1? I have to go Vegito. It's close, but I have to go Vegito. Pre-transformation, Goku and Vegeta are way better than Goku Blue and Vegeta Blue. Post-transformation, they're like neck and neck. I always use the analogy to say Vegito is like a 9.9, Gogeta is like a 9.8. So it's not even to the point where you even need to be debating it. They're right there. And ultimately, what makes it such a decision for me is that Vegito, because his rush is literally 100% guaranteed to go through, a rising rush is an automated kill. Obviously, in circumstances where you have 14 stars on a green unit, it might not kill. But a rising rush is meant to be an automated kill. And if it can always go through, you're going to catch that body with Vegito. Even though Gogeta's gauge counter dodge is super good and whatnot, people think I'm downplaying it. It does have a drawback, and its main drawback is that you don't draw cards when you use it. If you're able to move forward and stop cover changes, you sacrifice not being cover changed or cover no in existence for the simple fact that you won't be drawing any more cards. I'd rather just have cover no and have the ability to sidestep. Now, I do understand some units, for example, Ultra Gohan, you can't just sidestep and fight against them, so then Gogeta would come in handy. But you could also argue blast cards could get around certain units, so again, it's more preference. But I think ultimately the Rising Rush is definitely going to age better, you know. And I know Gogeta does draw a card, but it's like 1 max or 2. So really and truly, in long term, you're not going to be able to take somebody out in 5 cards unless you're type advantage. And if you're not type advantage, they're probably going to cover change anyways. So really thinking about it, in most cases, Gogeta is not going to be more powerful on the battlefield than Vegito. Now, let's get into the meta talks, because it's not as simple as a 1v1. We got to think about what other units are involved. And I'm just going to drag up some units, right? So we got this guy here. We got this guy here. We got this guy here. Just bringing up for the conversation topic, right? UUI, I'm just bringing them up for the conversation topic. And even a good unit, the only good 1% out of the 2, we got this guy here. Now, as you can see, there is no real reds in here. Super 17's gone missing, by the way, but he's still super good. But as you can see, these are the major threats right now. Broly, with his exception. There's no reds here to really give Vegito an amazing stock value on the market. No matter how good he is as a solo unit, it's not that far for you guys to glaze him and say he's 10 times better than Gogeta Blue, because this guy here is gonna have Vegito screaming. One explosive green into a blue card, Vegito's going to hell. He's not surviving, bro. He's not surviving that. There's no way he's surviving that. He's just not. So the conversation I brought up to ask you guys a question, and you thought I was gonna make a straight up decision here, but the conversation is really, even though Vegito is better kit-wise, Gogeta's element right now serves more purpose and value on your team. So, do you think this Rising Rush mechanic is worth the hassle of fighting Ultra Gohan? Bear in mind, Ultra Gohan doesn't cancel any buffs when you rush him, so it's somebody you can actually kill with this Rising Rush that nullifies endurance. That's really what it chops it up. And some people will say yes, because a Rising Rush is a guaranteed kill. Some people will say no, because in most cases, having a blue unit will be a liability. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. But if you want to know what I think for now, because I'm going to be having Vegito high stars, and this is not a glaze thing, assuming you have 9 stars all the way to 14, which I will be getting, Vegito is just better. The rush is better, and if you cover change, he gets type neutral. It's just way better. But I'd say if you're below 9 stars, Gogeta is better every single time. Long term, I think Vegito's going to age better, but that's a prediction. It's not about right now. So, for most people, on my tab, there we go. For most people, I think Gogeta is going to be the better option. So yeah, we're gonna pick Gogeta here for number 1. Some people might not be happy about that, but I'm gonna go Gogeta number 1. Long term, Vegito is probably gonna age better, but it depends on what they drop next. Someone just typed in the chat, is Vegito's only type neutral defensively? Well, that's the point. His offensive rush is still gonna kill regardless. The point is that he doesn't get melted. But for the meta sake, I'm going Gogeta number 1. I can't be biased and say, oh, Vegito's just better. It's that much better. You can still have both of these units high star. Gogeta is going to be the safer option to run. So I have to go, I was going to say UGB. Gogeta 1, Vegito 2, but they could easily be interchangeable. Long term, I think easily Vegito's going to have more life, but that's an assumption. I don't know what they're going to drop in the future. All right, cool. Now that we've got the big boys out the way, we're going to go for 3 and 4. 3 and 4 should be very apparent. We've got Ultra Gohan and we've got Ultra Golden Frieza. Don't think because you're seeing a lot of people use Fusion Warriors that Golden Frieza's gone missing. But because these guys are existing and they're Son family members, Goku, the father of this guy here, is on both of these units pre-transformation, making the whole unit Son family. So Gohan fits perfectly with these guys, more so with GB over here with the green and yellow. They protect each other pretty well. Gogeta protects Gohan pretty well. So Gohan with his endurance as well just works super well with these two together anyways. So I think Gohan just naturally deserves that 3rd spot. He's being pushed a lot more. His element is valuable countering Vegito, a top 1-2 unit in the game. So naturally Gohan hitting 3 is just a safe pick. Trying to move it beyond that is really just stretching it. His stock has been rising so much. Even before these two dropped, Son family was just insane. With UUI, Bardock and Goku, and Fiku, the team had insane stock. Number 4, Golden Frieza. You're just not seeing him a lot, but he's super juiced no matter what. Put him on a team with those Zenkai buffs, and this guy is going to combo you to hell, increase your cost, and he has a revival himself. Come back, he's going to do damage to you, and it doesn't matter who it is. He goes type neutral doing that damage. So we got to give it to Golden Frieza. I don't think I need to go into these guys much, but they're good options offensively, and they also come with like the defensive trait of endurance and comeback / revival. All right, so we got 5 and 6. 5 and 6, I'm dragging up Super 17 and Ultra UI Goku. Now, Ultra UI Goku is an amazing unit, and I've never been a hater of this guy. I really just go by what the meta is showing. And ultimately, because Gogeta Blue exists, you don't need this guy. You don't need him. But at the same time, if you don't have Gogeta Blue, you might need him. But he's not the better option. If you're going to sit here and try to tell me Ultra UI is better than Gogeta Blue, you got to be crazy. Somebody's got to be crazy. And if somebody's a second choice on any team, you don't need to be that high on the list unless you're on the main team. So for that reason alone, he doesn't need to be higher than Super 17. Super 17 has way more value for the sake with Gogeta Blue being top 1, top 2 in the game, and Super 17's a direct counter to this guy here. So, respectfully, it's not that UI is bad at all. It's simply that he's a second choice option. It doesn't matter how good you are on the team. If LeBron exists, Kyrie, you're great, but you're still number 2. If Steph Curry's on the team, Klay Thompson, you are a shooter, but you're still number 2. No matter how good you are, you don't need to be number 1. You can't be number 1. So therefore, Super 17 gets more stock value in the meta. That should be self-explanatory, especially with the analogies I gave. If you're replaceable, you're going to see the bench, or you're going to be a second running man on the main team. And the way Legends works, you're not going to be a second man running team on a double yellow. Who's running double yellow? Come on. If double yellow starts going back, I'm going to be like that. I'm going to retcon the whole tier list. But nobody's using double yellow. So Super 17 stock at number 5, Ultra UI number 6. Alright, so next up we got 7 and 8. 7 and 8. We're looking at the options we got on in the meta right now. I'm dragging up these two guys. Nappa and Vegeta, Super Baby 2. We got these two coming up. Now, I think Nappa and Vegeta have crazy value because Vegeta Clan is actually a team right now. And you're probably thinking, where are the Vegeta units? You haven't looked hard enough. These two are Vegeta units right here. 1 and 2 are Vegeta Clan units. Very, very good units. Let's think about this. So I built a team earlier, and what it was Nappa and Vegeta on the leader slot. Both new Fusion Warriors because they're Vegeta Clan units because Vegeta's on that unit. And then the bench would basically be Fusion Warriors. So you'd put Gotenks on, which Zenkai Boss Gogeta Blue. That's a HP buff. Then you put Purple SV. He's at 14 stars, he's a HP buffer. So that goes towards Nappa and Vegeta. And it's a Zenkai buff towards Nappa and Vegeta. But at the same time, Super Vegito is a Fusion Warrior that is also HP buffing the whole team. So that works. And then on top of that, let's just put the icing on the cake. You can have an extra Zenkai buff for Namek Goku. As Namek Goku for Vegito, which works. So that's like a Vegeta Clan team that you could easily run. But even outside of that, this unit can be used with Golden Frieza on Frieza Force, which is obviously a good team. I'm not done though. This unit can also be used on Powerful Opponent with Super 17. Who else is also on that team? Super Baby 2. But the issue with Super Baby 2 is his main team is only Powerful Opponents. Now, before someone tries to cook me and say, hold on, Zakashi, do you know that Super Baby 2 is a Saiyan? I know, but remember the analogy I gave to Ultra UI. If he's being run on Saiyans, why would you run him on Saiyans? Gogeta Blue's the starter. We got our bench man here, Ultra UI. And then you're gonna pick Super Baby 2? GT is good as well, but really and truly it's not competing with the top dogs in the game right now. Let's be honest. It does have good pieces, but Super Baby 2, Super 17, and who's going to be your third Bomku, it's not better than the options available. So really and truly, we have to respect the order of priority when it comes to these yellows. Nappa and Vegeta is obviously going to go above Super Baby 2 for relevancy and team options. But of course, I'm not saying Super Baby 2 is bad. He's probably as good as UI. He just serves a different role. And Gogeta Blue is Gogeta Blue, so we're not going to talk about him. But really and truly, he's still one step behind. It doesn't matter how close you are. Let's use the analogies again. We've got Golden State Warriors, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. KD and Steph are 1 and 2. Klay Thompson, you are one of the best shooters in history, but you're still number 3. And even then, some people might say Draymond. Draymond is still number 3. So we have to look at it for what it is in order of yellows. We don't need to value this guy that much if you already have 2 better yellow options. And on top of that, Nappa and Vegeta is fulfilling a different role, countering also the number 3 in the game. Respectfully, Super Baby 2 has to go 1 below. 1 below. Thank you, sir. Alright, so cool. We got to do the number 9 now and the number 10. These are going to be the last 2, and then we might have a couple honorable mentions. Now, I had to do some searching at the top 30, top 20 players in the world. These are the top 30 players in the world right now. And there are 2 characters that a lot of people are using. And you might not expect it. But at the same time, once you see it, you'll be like, that's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say that. So the first one I'm going to be dragging up, out of all these characters here, it's going to be Pikkon. Pikkon has made it to number 9. He's genuinely made it to number 9. Amazing counter against Vegito over here. And he comes with the revival layer. Super valuable. Amazing. You know how he works. He spawns the green card. You know who's useful? Who makes use of green cards? The top 1 and 2 in the game. It just works. Pycon's revival layer obviously gives him the most stock. This guy has 2 lives. He also is a great attacker post revival, so there's no reason to not respect him. But I don't need to go into too much detail with him. He's color carrying one of the top 2 units in the game, and on top of that, he has 2 lives. Anyways, number 10. Now, we have to really look at this respectfully. And I'm going to drag out some honorable mentions, and I'm going to pick some of them. We got Bardock and Goku. We've got Beast Gohan. We've got Bomku. We've got Broly. Feetku, people wanted him to get a mention. And then, of course, the final slot out of all these units here is not Jiren, it's Vegito Blue. On Fusion Warriors, making a comeback. Now, one of these units are going to make the 10th space. And at the moment, I'm very stuck between 2 specifically. There's 2 characters that are very, very valuable right now, and it depends on which team you favor more than anything else. Of course, it's down to you at the end of the day. I think it could be debatable. There's a lot of points to go either way. And of course, don't shoot me, it's just my opinion. So the one I'm actually going to be dragging up, and I mean this with all my heart, is actually going to be Bardock and Goku. Bardock and Goku, they fit on Sun Family and Saiyans. Ultra Vegito Blue only has 1 team. He only has 1 team. He's not that available. Of course, he works with the top 1 and 2 units, but he only has 1 team. He's that valuable, of course. People are using him. The top 20 guys are consistently using him. Even on the screen, the number 7 player has him on the screen. But he only has 1 team. And that brings him a little bit more down in comparison to Bardock and Goku. Especially in a meta like this, where we have the indestructible. Now let's look at the other options. Feetku was good with Saiyan Saga, but Saiyan Saga is not that popular, even though it is a very good team if you build it to highest capability. It can be ran on Saiyans, so we do have to look at it for what it is as well. Even though he's good, there are better options. You could just use Vegito Blue, Super Vegito on Saiyans. Broly, he's an up-and-coming riser. We're trying to decide whether he's an actual really good unit long-term or just a new 1% so he's going to be looking good. Bomku, he's really being used on GT, but because his endurance isn't as valuable as indestructible, as in getting through that layer, you can take him out. So for me, with Bardock and Goku having 2 elements and having the explosive green, we have to give them that slight edge. And then Beast Gohan, really and truly only being used on Hybrid Saiyans, and Ultra Gohan is just better off used on Sun Family over Hybrid Saiyans. So for that reason, Bardock and Goku takes the edge over all of these characters. But if I was to take any one of these characters next, I'm taking Ultra Vegito Blue. I think he deserves the mention. I'll put Bomku up next, Broly, and then I'm going to leave the rest of them down here. I don't think they're on the caliber, so I'm just going to move Beast out, and I'm going to use Feetku out. So for honorable mentions, these 3 make it, but this is my top 10 right here. I think it's pretty nice, to be honest. Let's just conclude it so you can see it full screen. So here we have it, top 10. We've got Gogeta Blue, number 1, Vegito, number 2, but can be interchanged, but I've got them in that order. Ultra Gohan, number 3, Golden Frieza 4, Super 17 5, UUI 6, Nappa and Vegeta 7, Super Baby 2 8, Pycon 9, and Bardock and Goku 10, with the honorable mentions in these 3, just in that order. Alright, so cool. This is the more dedicated tier list. Is for newer players, but even if you aren't a newer player, it gives you a more accurate depiction of what PvP actually looks like and splits it into more specific tiers. So at the top we have the God tier, where these characters are able to pretty much run on their own and get amazing results. So you don't need to worry about anything here with these guys. They're just super OP. They can all pretty much 1v3 if you just get them the right situation, and it requires just a bit of skill, a lot less than anybody else in the game. Over here, we got Support and Disrupt. Now, most of these characters will be paired directly with characters in the God tier. So, you can see Nappa and Vegeta can work with these 2 here. You see Gogeta here can work with these 2 here. Super Baby 2 works with these 2 here. Feetku works with these 3 here. Bomku works with these 3 here. And Super 17. The Kai, God Key is 2 of them. And then so on and so forth. It gets a little worse as you go down, but they're supporting role characters that can fit on the team. Nappa and Vegeta could also be used offensively, but you know both. Cool. We got here Ultra Instinct units. These guys just literally dodge themselves. So naturally, they just all like have that dodge ability. So if you use 3 of them on a team, they work so specifically that pretty much they can win without being able, like having to attack, which is why they have their own specific tier. So obviously Ultra UI would be in the God tier, but he doesn't need to be there because he has this such a unique mechanic that is insane. Cool. Next up, we got the Attack Z. These are just like the next level attackers down from the God tier. So we got Bardock and Goku, Beast, Broly, Revival Gohan, Yamcha, Go Frieza, G4 Janemba, UGP, Super Saiyan Goku. You can see it's getting worse progressively as it goes down, but these guys are good. I should probably swap this and this one. His Zenkai is going to be crazy, and these two. And then low-key this one. Alright, cool. Next up, we got the bench tier. The bench is like, whoa, like these are guys that just support all of these guys up here. They're not going to be like being run. You don't use these guys on any of the teams. If you're running any of these guys, you're asking to lose in most cases. They're just supporting roles, and that's about it. Next up, we got support and disrupt tier S, no order. It's just a lower tier of these supporters. Some of them are actually good, but they're going to be seen a lot less than anything up here. And then the same with attack. It's literally just a lower tier of the Z version. They will be seen just a lot less because they're worse. So that's pretty much it for this tier list. It's just for the newer players. Let me know what you guys think about it, of course, but I know it will be helping people that are much newer to the game and so on and so forth. That's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, man. Let me know what you guys thought about both tier lists. The top 10, that's just a basic top 10, and then the more dedicated tier list, it gives you a more accurate depiction of what PvP looks like. But if you haven't already, make sure to press that subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 100,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.